Hi there, it's Jenny from now it used to be the openmindtherapist.com, but now it's openmindtherapy.co.uk. And it's been the longest time since I posted. And I know my subscriber count has doubled. I've got over 1,000 now, so thank you for joining me. Um, I just wanted to talk a little bit about chronic fatigue because it's something that I've been intensively working with, well, for some time, but certainly in the last 15 months or so, when everything went crazy. And if you go onto my um, account here on YouTube, you'll find a list of all the videos that I've collected together about chronic fatigue and how I work with it. And the reason I'm on talking today is because of something that came up with one of my clients a day or two ago. And we were talking about the way in which human interaction is a minefield, that a lot of people with chronic fatigue are always trying to second guess or intuit or keep things calm, try and navigate and negotiate how to say things, how to be comfortable in your skin, etc., etc. There's so many points of hypervigilance that are involved in a social setting. And one of the things I said to this client was, wow, I said like social interaction is such a minefield. There's so many fears, so many anxieties, so many anticipatory experiences, about what might happen if. I said it's an absolute minefield and it is exhausting. And then came the caveat, if you don't know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you'll try and be whatever anyone else seems to indicate that you are. And you lose your center because you're so busy trying to anticipate what other people are thinking and feeling that you lose your very center and you don't know who you are. When you don't know who you are, and many, many, many clients in the last year have said that very phrase to me, I don't know who I am. I feel like I've never really been reflected properly. I've never really had an honest and kind reflection of who I am. I've always had to manage the slings and arrows of outrageous, fortune or whatever it was that Shakespeare said. So you kind of come right off center. And if you go down my list of chronic fatigue videos that I did put together somewhere on my channel, I talk about the potter's wheel. If you're not in the middle, if you're not in the center of your wheel, then life is going to chuck you all over the place. And that is exactly what's happening with chronic fatigue when you aren't in the center of yourself. So the question arose, well, how do you get to know yourself? How do you do that? Because, it's like the Mecca. How do we get there? How do we get to this place of self-aware peace and comfort? And of course, if a lot of this has been hardwired into your physiology, then there's some very strong somatic exercises you can do. That's not my speciality. I can help release a lot of pent-up emotion that's stuck in the body. But if that's turned into physiology, then we sometimes it's good to have some kind of somatic intervention, whether that be literally hands-on or whether that be some kind of somatic intervention. But certainly in the last year, I'd say maybe 15% of the people that I've worked with, maybe 20%, have had spontaneous healings. And they've suddenly realized that they've been waiting for somebody else to tell them who they are. They've been waiting for somebody else to define what their life should be about. And in fact, it's not up to them, it's up to you. So how do you get to know yourself? Do you know, I'm going to leave this for another video because I haven't formulated exactly what I want to say about it. I wanted to really just raise that issue of you know, that when you're not in your center, social interaction is really stressful. But once you get to know yourself and you come home to your center, sometimes even for the first time, social interaction is so much easier because you're not spending half your life anticipating what other people are thinking. Okay, so I'm going to leave that short and brief, and I'll come back with, you know, how do you get to know yourself? You know, how long is a piece of string? There'll be hundreds, if not thousands, of answers to this, but I'll give you what I understand to be how you come back to yourself. Okay, see you anon.